Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kat Timpf Show. For my guest today, I thought it was appropriate. It's Father's Day, recording this on Father's Day.
It is.
Thought it was appropriate to have the father of my cat, Jeans, on, Blake. Blake is my college ex-boyfriend. Mm-hmm. We dated for like 4 years. We are now very much just friends. I'm disgusted by you physically.
Thank you.
And I think that's mutual.
I mean, I'm not disgusted by you physically.
Yeah.
Our days of physical love for each other are long gone.
They're long gone.
And now we love each other in different ways. I took care of Jeans this week, in fact, right? You were out of town. You live close to my office here in Midtown,
and you brought some wine. We're drinking some wine, so that's always bad to like hang out and do a podcast with somebody who knows more about you than anybody else and drink.
Yeah. Well, I had to. That's exactly why I'm talking to someone who knows a great deal of my better moments and my worst.
Some bad ones. You had a bad one. You had a bad one last night, right?
Maybe we'll talk about that. But we are drinking today Grand Vin from Burgundy.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed recently with wine from Burgundy.
Yeah, where does that come from?
It's from France. It's a particular region in France. I think it's like southwest, a little bit of Paris.
Back in our days, we were drinking like jungle juice.
We were drinking that and just the cheapest Chardonnay that we could find.
Yeah, Chardonnay. I think I was drinking Chardonnay the night we broke up. I had a little too much Chardonnay.
Well, which time we broke up?
That's true. So yeah, we become buddies out here. Blake and I did not talk for a good, we were friends, but then we didn't talk for like a good year and a half, 2 years, because you were dating the craziest girl alive.
Yeah. We won't reference this person by name, of course. We're going to protect the identities of the innocent and the not so innocent. But, I had a lot to do with that as well. I definitely contributed to the volatile relationship. But basically, right, I treated you. Can we cuss on this?
Yes.
Can we say things?
Yes.
I treated you like shit.
Yeah.
I basically, just went from hanging out with you, talking to you regularly, to cutting you completely out of my life.
Yes, because she told you don't talk to me anymore.
Yeah. Now, we could argue she had a valid reason.
Right.
To have some jealousy around our relationship. This was years ago, but we were still, you could still maybe if someone, let's say someone went through someone's phone, hypothetically, you could maybe find evidence that we still, and this is, again, years ago, would have, certain discussions that, might upset a future person on the scene.
Well, the future on the scene. When you finally broke up with her, your therapist advised you to put on running shoes, correct?
Okay, yeah, so we're getting into it. Yeah, our final breakup, when that happened, it did occur with me in running gear. Not just running shoes, full running gear, because that is what I did. I ended up just literally fleeing the park. And I went for like a 20-mile run, hurt myself.
Did she chase you?
No. Like a block. She wasn't prepared to actually go on like a full jaunt. I was. I had the special shirt on and everything. I was ready to go.
Well, what are some of the times you tried to break up with her and then she beat you to your apartment?
Well, I would say one time I tried to break up with her in her apartment, and she took my glasses away from me.
Yeah.
She hid them from me. I'm pretty blind without my glasses. She grabbed them. She hid them.
And they were in the mailbox?
I think eventually, I thought because she did like this little, I think that was just to throw me off. She like went downstairs into like her mailroom and then came back up thinking, so I thought that they were like there, but they were just in the bathroom or something.
It's very healthy.
So far the podcast is basically centered around me having not healthy relationships, both with you and post.
We're just chatting. It's not really a big deal. We can pretty much talk about whatever. We can talk some hot news of the week, a lot lighter things like the shooting, or the kid getting eaten by the alligator.
Yeah, that's light.
What do you think about the kid getting eaten by the alligator? Are you pro or anti kid getting eaten by the alligator?
Turns out I'm anti. Let me take that controversial standpoint right here. I know. It's weird to see though all the reaction, and it's weird to see that this contrasted with the Cincinnati Zoo thing, right?
Yeah.
How this gets brought up into like our ever kind of going conversations about race and racial tension in this country, because it's like, I think there's some things that don't really have anything to do with it, like parents, whether they're white or black, and what, bad things happen, dangerous things happen to their children when they're in places that other people go. It's not like they took these kids to like Everest and something bad happened.
Yeah,
it's like,
the kid was, can you imagine this? He's splashing in the water.
Yeah.
And then this gator just all of a sudden just eats this kid right in front of the. Well, he didn't even eat him. I guess he just
drags him
drowned.
out because what I understand, I'm no expert.
Alligator expert here for you today.
Yeah, exactly. I like to talk about things I don't know anything about as if I
That's
do.
what podcasts are.
Wine, don't know anything about it. Alligators, don't know anything about it. But I think they grab the prey, take them, and then and drown them.
Yeah, they drowned them, and they didn't even eat them. They killed all these gators looking for the body in the belly.
Yeah, it's so sad. The articles I read were just like, of course, the alligators had to be euthanized to assess whether they had killed anyone. And it's like no evidence so far.
Yeah,
they're, just, like,
they're looking for little boys. They're looking for little boys' dead bodies.
Oh,
Speaking of bodies, women often wear bras on their bodies.
Yes.
And why is finding a great fitting, comfortable bra so hard? It's so hard. But you should try Third Love's best-selling 24/7 t-shirt bra for free for 30 days. You put your credit card information in. They don't even charge your card until after the 30 days is up. You can wash the bra, take the tags off, really make this bra your own.
Is it easier to take off?
You can start your free trial. I don't know. You can start your free trial now at www.thirdlove.com/cat. We'll talk about that later, Blake. www.thirdlove.com/KAT as in me. It's very smooth and invisible under every outfit. And the thing is the cups are made of memory foam, so it molds to your shape to truly give you the perfect fit. Okay, so it remembers the shape of the boob and gives you the perfect fit. You just pay for shipping. www.thirdlove.com/KAT as in me. Start your free trial now. Get started. www.thirdlove.com/cat. How's that? Good job.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm very curious about the product. I'm very curious about the branding here. I'm interested in Third Love. So, what are the first two?
I don't know.
Is it breast number one, breast number two?
I never thought about that. I guess. So you have trouble taking off bras? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm just saying, like, hey, Third Love, make it where this one is very easy from an around the back perspective.
When you were a child, did you practice taking off bras? Did you go grab your mom's bra?
No. It's so funny. There are certain things, though, that you grow up. I feel like growing up in the 90s, there are certain things you watch a lot of TV, and you're convinced that these things are going to plague you the rest of your life. Taking off bras, right? That's going to be like the hardest thing in the world. Quicksand, right? Like you grow up watching all these TV shows.
Taking off bras in quicksand.
Where like people are getting stuck in quicksand and shit. It's like that never happens. No one's ever in quicksand. It's not a dangerous situation. Ever. It doesn't count. Taking off the bras, it's like, it's not that hard. But yes, what is frustrating to me is that sometimes you will be doing that. And if you struggle for just, I don't know what it is, 5 seconds, if it's much more than 5 seconds, the girl's going to say, oh, can I help you with that? Like, it's like, well, I mean, it's dark. I can't see the clasps. It's like, there's geometry, there's angles involved. I don't know how to.
So you'd prefer to just let you just keep trying as long as it takes?
No, but don't get all cutesy with me after 6.5 seconds. You know what I mean? If I really can't do it, like, but I mean, okay, look, let's get real. Obviously, I've taken off bras before.
You're an adult man.
Right. And that's not even to say I'm promiscuous. Let's just say
you think your mom's going to listen to this? Is that what you're worried about?
I don't know. But
because mine's not. Ayo. Sorry. She's dead, everybody.
That's true. But I mean, come on, it can be hard. And so I don't like the idea where the girl's almost like, we have this notion, or at least growing up in the 90s, like I said, in pop culture, where if you struggle with the bra for a little bit, then you're new in bed, or this is like you're not experienced. It's like, no, bra, that can be a tricky little thing.
What's the worst Tinder date you've ever been on?
It was It was not that long ago.
Because I know you do the Tinder, and this is all I've never done it, so it's like it's all very interesting to me. What's the worst one?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. I've been chatting with this girl for a while. She seemed fine. We'd both kind of like, one time I canceled, I had something going on. She canceled, and normally that means like it's never gonna happen in the world of Tinder. If there's like one or more cancel, forget it. Move on. But
you should write a book.
Yeah, we ended up. Yeah, Aziz did. I could too. We ended up finally meeting up at this bar. Well, we were going to meet at this bar near my office, right? After work. And I'm almost there, and she texts me. She goes, I forgot my ID. Do you mind? Should I go back to my apartment and come back to this bar? It'll be about 30 minutes. Or we could just see if there's like a nearby bar around here that will let me drink without my ID.
Yeah.
I'm almost there. So I'm like, let's just find another place. I don't care. And then as I'm like literally 100 yards away, I get another text. She's like, I'm in so-and-so bar. I'm at the back. Come in. So I come in and it was just like immediate. The level of disinterest this girl had. I mean,
she didn't like you.
I guess not, but I mean, and I'm like, hey, is everything okay? And she's like, oh, I'm upset about being kicked out of this other bar, and I'm
sure
mad
that
about
really
that.
emotionally affected her.
She had
She's
like
lying.
a gym bag with her. She had already had about a half a glass of wine by the time I got there, I was not late. Like she was just rolling up way early. And then she finishes her one glass and is like aggressively waving down the guy to pay. Like
she didn't like you.
Right. And it's like, I've had maybe a quarter of my beer.
Did you shave enough of your neck beard? Was that the problem?
I don't know. But so once she pays, it's like, okay, she doesn't want to drink anymore.
Right.
She wants to leave. And then she starts like, she's pulling away from me.
She's texting another dude.
She's texting people. And I'm like, and I go, yo, you seem really disinterested in being here. Do you want to go? Like, it's fine. I'm at that point, I really am. Like, let's just be honest. Like,
yeah.
I'm giving you an out. And she's like, oh no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Like, you know.
Why does she do that? I don't get that.
I know.
I don't
I'm giving you an out.
I have no problem being like, yo.
Yeah, she should have just been like, I'm sorry, I'm not in a good mood, and this isn't working out.
Yeah,
Fine.
it's not like you're emotionally invested in this girl
Right.
you spent 10 minutes around.
No, it's not like she stuck around much longer, because then at some point, she was like, well, I guess... by the way, I'm pretty good on first dates. Like, I know the little banter. I know what to talk about. It's, the whole song and dance. I do a lot of them. And she was just, like, not answering me. She wasn't giving me anything. So, and then I guess it did feel a little bit like an interview. Because if someone's just like, yes, no, sort of. It's like, then you're just giving, you're okay. You're asking
I don't
the next
go on
question.
dates, really. I do more like...
Well, she had the audacity to be like, well, I do feel like your interview questions are kind of making me uncomfortable.
Ew.
And then at that point, I was like, okay, go.
And these so you like first date and you guys got into a fight, kind of.
Basically, yeah. And then she was gone, and I looked around, and I was like, wow. And then I looked at my watch, and I was like, that was 20 minutes.
And then
that was 20 minutes.
That's amazing. Yeah. I know, like, you and I are good friends, and I know a lot of people don't really understand it. Like, sometimes I'll go places with Blake, and I'll just introduce him as my cousin or something. Be like, he's my cousin, because I don't want to be like, well, he's my ex-boyfriend, but we haven't like hooked up whatsoever in like 5 years. It's we broke up like 6 years ago.
We literally broke up, I think, in like 2011.
Yeah, we're not something like that. 5 years ago, I don't know. We're done.
That's 5 years ago.
Yeah. And people are like, yeah, but isn't it still kind of like when you're both drunk? I'm like, no, we're always drunk when we're hanging out, and it's never, it's never like that. And I remember, like, but have you ever had a girl? Because I text you a lot, we hang out a lot. Have you ever had a girl have a problem with it?
Definitely. I mean, obviously, I had the whole Joyce thing.
You said her name. It's okay. No,
Josephine.
She's not listening, or she probably is. She's cuckoo bananas.
But no, I mean, there's been times where it's like girls are like, "Whoa, Kat, sir." I mean, one time I was in my apartment and you just showed up.
Well, I forgot I had to get something.
You had to get something. It was like Friday night.
This was a little rude.
It was like Friday night.
I told you I was coming, but I didn't knock. I opened the door.
You did tell me, and that was fine. It's not that like, oh, you couldn't come by, but yeah, I'm like in my room with a girl, music on.
Yeah, you guys were like straddling each other.
That's not true. And then the door flings open, and it's like, hey, I'm here for the thing I need.
Yeah.
And
when I left, she was like, so.
She was like, that's interesting. Now, explain, who is this? That's your ex-girlfriend? Because I think girls think like, oh, like you guys probably like dated not long ago, or this is like you're still in each other's lives. It's like, yeah, now we're like best friends,
right?
Or good friends. I know that you have a million best friends, so you can't make that.
Well, I have you and I have Joel.
Statement, yeah. For me, it's like, no, you're my best friend. I don't have other friends I have to worry about. Like
you have me, and you have like ladies.
Yeah, and, it's like I mean, I have college friends that aren't in the city.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess that could be. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's like a Jerry-to-her-Elaine thing. All right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I describe it, basically.
It's Jerry-to-her-Elaine.
But we got together. We were in college together, and we were both party bros. And I was in sorority and a fraternity.
Yeah.
And we party.
Yeah. I was the president of a fraternity.
You're the president of the fraternity, obviously. And then I don't know. I remember when the first time I ever got onto Fox News, this is an interesting story, was because of Blake. Because I would write about like feminists and like, whatever. Like radical feminists. There was this girl, because you're from Wyoming, and there was this chick, this really very, very, I will call her obese. I believe that's the medical term.
Well, that's just
obese, yeah.
Just being
lady
descriptive.
Who like, she was like claimed that she was getting these rape threats online on Facebook, and there was these rallies all over the school. The cops investigated.
Well, she claimed that she was a very active left-wing kind of activist on campus, and she was claiming specifically that the rape threats involved references to that, like, this liberal, bad word, disparaging shit.
You can swear on this podcast.
I know, but it's like, I don't even want to say that shit. But like, basically, they were like, I want to, hate fuck her. I want to fuck her so hard she becomes a Republican. Sounds horrible. Yeah. Sounds horrible.
But the cops looked at her and they were like, I don't know.
They figured out that she had written all that
she wrote it her damn self.
It came from her, the IP. They have science. They figured out it came from her computer address at home. So she made those comments to try and stir up the university community, to make it look like there were all these crazy Republicans that, were threatening her. And was her.
There were rallies at the school.
There were rallies. She was speaking at them. That's ballsy. You got to give her, like...
Do you, if you're on a date with a girl and like what if you're scrolling through Tinder and some chick's like a feminist? What do you do?
That tends not to bother me that much, like, because I kind of think that half of them just say that as kind of like their, I don't know. But okay, well, just to finish this little story out, I saw this story before it became
because it was your little
I saw it on
Wyoming
Facebook.
Paper,
I saw like people talking about on Facebook at the University of Wyoming, and I was in Europe at the time, and I just emailed you like right before I passed out, like, hey, look at this. I think you could write a story about it. And then like the next day, by the time I got going and kind of checked the news, like it was on Drudge, and then you were on Fox later that day talking about it.
I was on America Live with Megyn Kelly. That was when there was still America Live with Megyn. And I wore like a suit jacket before I realized like you shouldn't wear that.
You didn't know what to wear the
That was
dress.
Pre-glasses too. That was before I figured out these glasses were going to work for me.
Yeah.
These glasses changed
so
my
we
life.
have a complicated relationship. I mean, you have helped me on many times. I think I've tried to help you whenever I can. I've also wronged you.
Yes.
And abandoned you.
Yes.
But you're the type
Jeans.
of person. You're the type of person, and this is rare. Really, so far, not that I've wronged that many people in my life, so it's a small sample size, but where that you can mistreat that person, and you can come back, and you're kind of like it's like the story from the Bible, right? Prodigal son, just like welcome.
Your
welcome
parents
back
owned
into
a
the fold.
Christian bookstore named Roosters. I remember I stopped by Roosters.
That is true.
And I was like, how do they spend that much time together?
Parents, I know.
Your parents, you live in like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Butt
small
fuck.
town,
It's
Wyoming.
butt fuck, Wyoming.
Yeah.
Bumfuck.
Yeah, bumfuck.
I don't want to swear. I don't want to say butt.
Yeah, I don't want to get too graphic.
I don't want to say butt. Okay. Your brother is your brother lives in California. Your sister, she's maybe getting married. She says she's
engaged.
She's
for a long time.
Very long time. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, they live together. They're engaged.
They live together. Your parents handle that well? Probably not.
My dad's not stoked about that. He's kind of like, what's the holdup? What's going on?
Yeah. And your brother's a big Trump guy.
Yeah, my brother's pretty Trump. He's pro-Trump. I will say, I think that if you're living in Southern California, it can be a little bit. It can be, and we've both spent some time in LA. Obviously, I'm pretty libertarian. I'm basically libertarian, and I pretty much support the idea of, in college, I would say open borders, but maybe not to that extent. But I certainly recognize the importance of labor, flowing between our artificial kind of borders. But man, it's a little weird down in LA. Like I can see why people.
Too much immigration? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? You're saying build the wall?
I don't know that it's too much immigration. I think that you could have that level of immigration, but then you can't have everything else that LA has going on.
Yeah, well, they want to have
like the city of LA, it's like they have to extract money from people. They know where they can get the money. So how do they do it? They do it through like chicken shit tickets, parking tickets.
Remember, I got like $900 worth of parking tickets.
My car was towed. Do you remember that? And I was out there screaming that I was going to be fired with no shoes on. Like, I paid probably $1,800 in traffic or in parking tickets alone. And so that's LA's strategy. We're going to extract money from the people that we know that we can. Now, you can go down certain parts of LA, right outside like the big funeral, burial grounds, where there's a lot of, funerals.
You're drunk.
And you're going to have undocumented workers selling flowers on the roadside, completely trash. They leave the trash behind. These put out of business the actual flower shops around the corner that have to pay payroll taxes, that have to pay,
So what you're saying
overhead.
is don't buy flowers from immigrants.
No, I'm saying that's illegal.
I'm just trying to make you uncomfortable.
What they're doing, technically, those merchants, is illegal, but the LAPD will not enforce that.
No.
Yet they will find every little way to pull money out of the people that they think they can.
Do you remember Scott? I want to tell you guys a story about the worst New Year's Eve I ever had. Blake and I lived together for a brief 6 months. Now, what I did was super fucked up. I said I was gonna go to Columbia Journalism School in New York because I got in, and the plan was, this was our brilliant 21-year-old plan.
Yep.
Is I was gonna I had an internship at Fox. You lived in LA, an internship in Fox News in LA, and for 2 months I was gonna live in this Santa Monica with that Asian couple. I remember I don't.
Some doctors.
No, they were doctors. We couldn't figure out if they were together or if the guy was gay.
Yeah,
we still. It was very, very strange. We didn't really know. But then for the last 2 weeks, I was gonna move in with you, and then we were gonna break up, and I was gonna move to New York. Instead, I decided I did not want to take out a loan, and I just said, I live here now. I said, yeah, I'm not going. I'm just going to live here now. And then so you had to be responsible for me financially. So what you would do,
with no money.
You would buy me food, but you'd make me go get it. Things like that, which is fine. But I remember I locked the keys in the door and I couldn't get in. It was New Year's Eve.
I was out of town, right?
You were out of town. And I was leaving the next day. We had a meth dealer neighbor named Scott.
No joke.
Yeah. People would come buy meth.
This guy was a meth dealer for sure.
He would come buy meth, and I was like, he saw that I was unable to get in, and he was like, oh, like, do you need let in? I got a whole box of tools I used to break into houses. And I said, I didn't know anybody in LA but you. I had no friends. This was like back before I even had Reggie and Kyrie, my Boston market homies.
Yeah.
And who used to get pretty mad when I would invite over. But and then so he broke into the window, but he broke the window. And I had to call you. And I had to say, hey, and I called him Party Bro Scott. I said, Party Bro Scott, help me break into the house, and the windows broke. You're like, well, now this meth head knows how to break into our apartment. And I was like, yeah, he does, and I really am very sorry.
I felt so powerless. I was like so far away. I felt vulnerable.
You felt angry. You felt very mad. You're like, this girl that I never even told was allowed to live here is here, and now she's breaking my window. She's like breaking meth. I mean, totally fair. That was one of the fights. We got into a fight one time. We lived in a...
That was a good fight.
That was a good fight.
Come on, people. That's somewhat understandable that someone could be...
I remember one time you yelled at me too much and I blew up a raft in the kitchen. We lived in a studio. We had a kitchen. I blew up a raft and I was like, tomorrow I'm going to a battered women's shelter. I've had it. Like, it wasn't battered. Like, I was like, you yelled at me. You said something, but like, I mean,
Wait, did you sleep on the raft or something?
No, I didn't. I just blew it up to like, wow, you don't even remember. I just blew it up to yell at you because I wanted to like make it. I was like, I'm for real this time. I'm done.
It's happening.
I'm done. And then the next day you brought home Cheens.
Yeah.
Which he didn't buy me a cat. He found a dying cat. I was like, I'm breaking up with you.
Kitten.
And he found a dying kitten and he brought it to me.
Young.
But it worked. It worked.
I mean, I found him at a cat shelter.
No, you didn't. You found him at a pet store who found him on the street.
Earlier that day, the pet store was like, yeah, we don't really know what to do with him. You can just have him.
And you brought him home for me.
I brought him home.
And he distracted me from my moving into a battered women's shelter.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, fellas, if you feel like you're ever losing your lady, bring a feline into the situation.
That's where Cheens comes from. People ask me all the time where Cheens comes from. Cheens came from the biggest fight that we ever had.
We ever had. Well, do we want to talk about what happened the night? Not in great detail, but the night before.
Yeah,
like,
let's talk about that. We don't. By the way, listeners, what he means not in great detail. Do not say what he specifically said to you. It was very mean. I was coming back from a internship meeting week conference, and he agreed to pick me up from the airport. And I have a little bit of a spatial issue.
Yeah. LAX,
and it's a huge freaking airport.
So that's what I mean. That's why I point that out. It's not easy.
You came. That's not what you thought at the time. You came to pick me up, and you were very angry that I did not know where the arrivals were, and I was on the wrong floor the entire time.
Where you go to get picked up.
It's hard for some people.
I thought that everyone could find their way there.
Well, some of us, it's hard for some, and you made it very clear that you were very excited to spend the night with me, but I ruined it by being such a stupid
young lady. Beautiful, charming lady.
It's all good now.
No, I mean, look, a lot of it was that
we were children.
I was a child. I was immature. You probably interrupted me playing Xbox.
I did interrupt you playing Xbox.
Like, my life at that time was awful. I wasn't making any money. I wasn't in a job that I wanted to be in. I felt completely rudderless and, like, hopeless in terms of professional, aspirations. I think we both kind of did.
I worked at Boston Market.
Yeah. It's not like neither of us had our shit together.
I know. I look at us now and I'm like, how have we done this? We've done it.
Yeah, well, you've done it. I'm hopefully, on the process. You're a very successful person, and it's awesome to see.
And then, yeah, like we weren't talking for a while, and like people would see me on TV, and they're like, "So, remember her? Do you remember her? Do you remember your ex?"
Yeah, because you did kind of really, I would say, like the biggest velocity of your career trajectory taking off was probably in the period of us not talking, right?
Right, you weren't allowed.
Yeah.
And then the ex-girlfriend, the Cuckoo Bananas one, create all these fake identities to like comment on my Instagram posts and be like,
"We're sure that's her." I mean, I still think about that.
She knew that like things about me that only you knew, and like she would comment them.
That is disturbing.
She like would create all these fake. She's like, "Why don't you like eat like?" Well, she knew every my insecurities. Like I was a little too skinny for a while. She's like, "You anorexic bitch. You look disgusting." I had thin, evil lips. That was great. She talked about the mole between my eyes that I'm very insecure about. I cried about it. Not anymore, but I cried about it a lot in like the 6th grade. It's okay. Look, we're over it. It's fine.
No, it's so weird. I guess it's so weird that someone can be with someone who's simultaneously doing that. Like, I mean, I think that I'm somewhat rational. I think I kind of had my head screwed on straight somewhat now. And it's just like, God damn, I can't believe that, I would ever put up with that, or people put up with weird shit. I guess
people do.
In times of love, I mean, I'm not.
What do you think of this? This is going viral. Somebody, because she put some saltines on her kid's head. Like, what is this shit, man? Like the internet's so stupid. The internet's so stupid. Oh, it's gone now. I mean, all right, but okay.
I'm fine with saltines. For the record. This podcaster is okay with saltines.
They're good, but look at this this baby went viral because they put saltines on the baby's head. Everyone but us has babies, by the way.
I heard there was some competition where I think it started
Cheerios.
with dads competing to see how many Cheerios they can put on their head.
Right.
It is super weird. I mean, we went to a school in the Midwest and we graduated 6 years ago now.
Yeah.
So that means we have a lot of friends that are parents.
A lot of kids.
Most friends are parents, it seems. Or certainly are married.
I have no interest in it.
I mean, I lived with a guy my senior year of college who is now a father of 3 sons.
I met up with his wife. Remember, she was in my sorority.
Yeah.
I met up with his wife and her sister when I was giving a speech in Wisconsin. And they were talking about, the younger sister was talking about like, oh, I'm so pressured for kids. She's my age. I'm pressured for kids. And I was like, I'm single. It's like, what would a single 27-year-old, what would that be like in Wisconsin? They're like, we don't know any.
That is
They don't know any.
I mean, the divide between like what's happening in terms of dating in like Wisconsin, Michigan, and New York.
Yeah.
People can't understand it. Like, people cannot understand it. I was talking to a guy last night at this barbecue. He's from New York. He went to NYU, but he's been out of the dating scene for a long time. He just got out of a really long relationship. And he could not wrap his head around the fact that until stated otherwise, you are not exclusive.
Yeah.
In New York and probably in LA.
So what does he think?
He thinks that as soon as you've reached a certain level of kind of, we go on enough dates or there's enough intimacy going on, that's it.
See,
I just assume it.
I just avoid that discussion. I'm so good at that. Like, someone's like, "So where's this going?" I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so hungry." I'm really good. Like, I've never cheated because I just like avoid the exclusivity discussion.
Yeah.
I've dated you, and then I had one boyfriend. I mean, I've dated guys. Like, I've had like casually, and then a little more than casually. But exclusivity is like a big deal to me.
Well, by casual, I don't mean that there can't be real feelings involved. I just mean that like it's not like we're putting this on the road towards
I just don't want kids.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'll, like, I don't know, like, I'm pretty self-involved, so I might want to like reproduce myself around like 35 to 40, you know?
Right.
But I
see if I can get some of this genius for the next generation.
I don't know, but I like only when I have enough nannies to never have to see it, unless I want to.
No, that's really it. It's and it's so remarkable. Like, I mean, my high school girlfriend.
I was gonna say she had a kid. Holy shit! Let's talk about her.
In college, early college, as I guess a lot of people do. But I mean, now that kid is like fucking 9 years old, and it's like I'm 28, you're 27. You know, if I have kids, they'll probably be my mid-30s. By this point, this girl I dated could almost be a grandmother. Like,
yeah, well, depending on how she raises
like,
her little kid. The kid's got the dumbest name ever. Her kid's name is Olivian. I said it, not you. Olivian Lynn. Olivian Lynn. That's a stupid name.
It doesn't roll off the tongue, does
it? It's what somebody who has a kid at that age would name their kid.
Yeah.
It's like, honestly, like, there's how many Adelines out there? It's like, oh, your name's Adeline? Okay, what age of her teenage years did your mom have you? Adeline? Adeline, like Bryce.
Right, Bryce. There's all these.
Imagine having sex with a man.
Wow.
Named Bryce.
That would freak me out.
Bryce, give it to me, Bryce. Like, no, thank you.
I know, it is weird. I mean, I've hooked up with girls of kind of a wide range of years. And
so like, he means he's hooked up with very young women, young chicks.
But it's so funny. Like, the girls who are young, they have these different names than the girls who are older. It's like just within young 20s to now girls who are like 30, 32. It's like the 30-year-olds, the 29-year-olds, they're Ashleys, they're Laurens.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. The younger ones, they're more like, you know, Maddie and Carly and Madison.
Carly's the girl that you stood up last night, right? She's not going to listen to this.
I hope not. I went to a barbecue last night in Hoboken.
You had a little too much fun.
Drank a lot. And, you know, our intent was to hang out back in Lower Manhattan.
The plan was.
Yeah, plan.
Yeah.
That's a more accurate word. And at like 8 o'clock, I'm like, I'm still stuck here, leaving soon. I ended up taking a cab back to Manhattan. Like,
from Hoboken?
From Hoboken at 12:40 a.m. This girl was so sweet. She was like, it's okay. Like, all right, I'm at a bar. I'm here.
But you didn't like her. You don't like her that much.
I like her.
You like her fine.
Yeah, I like her.
You like her fine.
I like her. No, I like her.
Does she like you still?
If she might listen. So Kylie, I like you.
She's not gonna. You're such a slime ball.
Yeah, please don't tag me in any
I'm not
social
going,
media.
I'm not going to. I did not use it's fine. And if anybody goes out of their way to listen to this, then like I talk about
whatever.
I talk about so much of my personal life on this podcast that it's probably bad.
Whatever.
I really don't know. I found this. Speaking of your ex girlfriend, your high school ex girlfriend, by the way.
Well, I just want to finish. I feel bad. I woke up to a bunch of texts from her that's like, "What the fuck? 20 minutes, 40 minutes? You're super late. Like, you're not coming."
We've all done it.
And I just went home. I forgot that I made plans.
We've done it, man. I think that the thing is like I think like we've done it. Okay, we've all done it. Shit happens. I invited a guy over one time, and then I fell asleep. And he was remember that, and he was at my door, and he was like banging on the. I woke up to 37 messages, and the last one was like, you know what? I mean this sincerely. Fuck you.
She used the word sincerely in her last one too.
Okay, but you know what?
I think that's like the point when you use the word sincerely.
You're sincere.
It's like seriously, fuck you.
It was freezing. He came all the way out, and I just didn't answer. And I was like, "Come over. I really want to see you. Like, let's go get a like, come over." And I was out.
And you know, when I pass out, I pass out.
Yeah, you do. We used to call passing out pulling a Blake in college. You would pass out. You passed out on top of a car one time.
Yeah.
Out. I thought you were dead a few times.
I mean, I was in a fraternity where this type of behavior was, I guess, in some ways, tacitly encouraged. I mean, we have a friend, we won't use his name, but his nickname in college was Shivo.
Yep.
And
as in Terry Shivo.
Terry Shivo. And his he might have Terry somewhere in his name, and that's why it made sense. But he would get so fucked up that he would just pass out like Terry Shivo. So,
you guys were great. No hazing at all. Definitely, there was one guy who lit his face on fire.
Oh, Toast.
Yeah,
we call him Toast.
And instead of being compassionate, they definitely didn't just call him Toast for the rest of his college career. You go to the house, he burned his face off. You guys were like, yeah, Toast.
Yeah, Toast. It's pretty sweet.
What's up, Toast?
I mean, it's not like we did this to him.
No, he did it. He was dumb. He was a dumb guy.
He thought he was cool and like blew, what is that, like super hard proof liquor? Everclear out of his mouth, tried to light it on fire. It dribbled down and burnt his chin. And
I mean, these parties that you would have were, I mean, I see like people getting in trouble now for things at frats, and I just think back to my days like at your frat hanging out, and I'm like, this place would have been shut down.
Well,
in the days of like it was, but like PC police internet. But like I was never harmed by anything.
No
it was so
but
fun. Like
that's okay, but that level
you were
of
a frat president.
That's what I mean. Which was just like the most stressful year of my life.
I know, I remember. Well, because you were good at lying.
Yeah, that's why I was elected, essentially.
Yeah.
Not because I was like the choir boy of the fraternity.
No, of course not. I mean, I'll never forget one day when, what's her face, MT, she got too drunk. She had braces on, and she got so drunk upstairs that like all the guys were going to carry her downstairs, and it took 6 of them because they were all drunk. And then the house mom, Deb, came downstairs. She walks past the stairwell, and there's 6 guys carrying her down, and she has her arms crossed over like a dead body.
A Shivoed girl. Now, nothing happened to that girl.
Exactly. No, they all carried her downstairs, and they put her in the car like that. Like it was, and her older sister.
Sure she had
her older sister was there.
Right,
yeah, no, she was fine.
Decisions for her.
Yeah, she was fine. But like the thing is, our school was strict, and then the president after you made the great decision of when the dean was like, "You got people smoke pot in the house," and he said, "Yeah."
Right. It's like, dude, you have to be lying about that shit. Did you miss the memo? Like, I thought that was implied. Like, when I was passing the torch, hey, when asked about illegal stuff, say no.
Well,
what are you
Hillsdale
talking
was
about?
very, very, very strict about drugs. Your roommates got expelled because they found a seed in the trash can after school was over. And then I'll never forget this.
Well, yeah. The start of my senior year.
Our senior year, you moved into a house with a guy who's now a dad, and then one other guy.
Yeah.
And
2 other guys. It was
supposed to be 2 other guys. And you were
driving to
you're driving
halfway across
you're in the
country.
hotel, and you called me
you.
from the hotel because it was free to call from like hotel. You're like, you call me collect, and you were like, hey, like, can we just see you? Good night. I was like, we need to talk. Yeah. And you were like, what? And I was like, it's not even about us. It's worse than you think. Like, I'm not breaking up with you. It's much worse.
Buckle up.
And I called you. I'm like, your house is on the front page of the Hillsdale Daily News.
Yeah.
You'd been in Wyoming all summer. You'd been had no part of this. No part of this from the other half of the country. And so his roommates, there was a closet, and they took the closet and they cut it in half, and they were growing marijuana behind
They built a grow room. They built a false door. They took this closet, shrunk it by 75%, keeping the rest a grow room, and just the very front a little closet with this. I mean, they did some good carpentry, like this fake wall.
Yeah. But
problem was that closet had flooded. There was a pipe in there, and it like flooded the winter before when it froze. And so the landlord knew, okay, people are about ready to move in. I just want to like take a look at the closet before people move in.
He opens it up. It's a third of the size that it was before.
He sees this like weird plastic vent kind of situated somewhere on the door.
Yeah.
He pulls it off. He looks in there. This old guy, he probably couldn't tell pot from corn, but he knew that like that was
something
weird.
Was
weird.
He
knew that was
and
weird.
Like these kids were huge slackers. They did nothing right, but they
they
plants.
Nailed it.
I remember I saw these plants on the front page of the Hillsdale Daily News.
Up.
Cops,
yeah.
they were huge. They were like
Beautiful.
taller than I am.
Yeah.
And then so the one guy got caught because he had his handwriting. You could tell his handwriting. The other guy got caught because there was a box with seeds from Amsterdam, and he kept his birth certificate in the same box.
It was a safe. He had a safe, and in the safe he had his birth certificate, and laying on top of it were seeds. Otherwise, they never would have known he was involved. He wasn't on the lease. He was just friends with the guy who was on the lease.
Yeah. So you wound up coming back you drove from Wyoming to Michigan.
And the first thing I had to do was meet with the cop.
You hadn't been in Michigan since May.
Yeah.
But your name was on this lease where this had been going on without you being there.
And by the way, cops, if anyone out there is like, oh, what does it look like if cops search my apartment? Do they leave it in nice, clean, orderly condition? Fuck no, they do not. They rip out all the drawers. They flip over all the mattresses. Like, they go nuts.
Yeah.
Like, they acted like they had just found, like, Pablo Escobar's secret hideout in bumfuck Michigan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so they got expelled. And you went to go visit him in jail.
I did.
It's very nice of you.
I would bring them books. I visited him multiple times. I'd bring them books and pick up the old ones. And
Hillsdale was I'm glad I went there myself. It was a good place for me to go. It's been good to me.
It's been good for your career, I think.
Yeah, and it's just and I remember the guy with the birth certificate box. He wrote a letter of "I'm sorry, please let me back into school." But that was the second time he'd been expelled for weed. Well, the other incident.
No, that was his first, I think, wasn't it?
No,
wasn't it the other guy who'd been expelled?
Yeah, well, he got kind of sort of kicked out.
He was kicked out. But
these people don't care. But the other incident, I mean, your frat had a problem with a bunch of guys. This is before we went there. They did shrooms together,
right?
And
in the
fraternity house, and one guy freaked out and called who? The dean or the cops?
Called his mom or parents and said like something like the devil is coming to get me or
Jesus
something ridiculous.
is my friend.
Yeah, but the devil wants me. Parents freak out. They call the dean. Dean shows up. They search the fraternity house. They find like a couple seeds.
Yeah.
Kick people out of school.
Yeah. Well, frats are like really like like a lot of trouble right now. Like it's hard to be like a frat and like even like out of school that's
Every
like a
year
public
it gets
school.
worse. I mean, I can't even.
It's not just at Hillsdale.
No,
it's like everywhere.
It's
better at Hillsdale probably.
Probably, yeah, because this whole thing, it's so weird. This shift we're seeing, what's going on in college campuses. This is they've been PC ridiculous for a while, but but like it is this shift is I think pretty. You can almost like pick a year, I think, where it really kicked into a different higher level. And I think it's probably like 2011, 2012. I don't think it was quite like that when we were in school. Obviously, Hillsdale's an exception. It's an outlier. But I'm talking about major universities, what we hear about coming out of like Yale and Columbia and Virginia. My future, where I'm headed, is some crazy shit.
Yeah, I mean, well, and then there's just like this affirmative consent sexual assault thing, and it's just like, I don't know. I mean, there's rapists. Yeah. There's been like rape. I mean, it happens on every college campus, and it's sad. It's disgusting.
There are horrible people and humans out there.
But it's not because they don't know what they're doing is wrong.
I know. That's what I say all the time. We can't have like an education. No one had to teach me that rape was wrong.
Or no one had to teach you like
had to like sit
if this
me
girl's
down.
Passed out, don't bang her.
Right.
Nobody had to teach you that. No normal man would even be into that.
No. Yeah. Exactly. It's like first of all, I think me and most guys, like a lot of the reasons we're into sex is we like it's both people being involved in it.
Yeah.
And that's how normal people approach
sex.
Some passed out person is like, yeah, I'll go home and jerk off. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Brock, like, what's wrong with you, dude?
Shout out to Brock Turner. Fuck you.
Fuck you, Brock Turner. Go home and jerk off.
I was so good at swimming. Like, dude, that guy sucks.
Jesus Christ.
That guy sucks. And you know what? And oh my God.
Fuck him. and fuck his dad, because I mean, it's like, okay, I'm not taking any blame away from Brock. That goes on him. That is on him. I'm just saying that fucked up letter that his dad wrote. Yeah,
it shows he was raised wrong. Well, your parents do shape who you are.
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel bad for him, but at the same time, Jesus Christ, like, can you imagine being raised by parents who probably told him from the day he was, could understand, you're perfect, you're amazing, you can do no wrong, you're entitled to what you want.
Okay, but why would you be into having sex with a passed out girl behind the dumpster? There's something wrong with you psychologically.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
And I'm so glad his life is over.
I'm so glad it's over. Fucked. I'm so glad it's
like,
fucked.
Did you see what he said? He's like, I'm very upset. I wish I was never good at swimming because now it hurts that I lost my swim.
What about life? Yeah, it's like, bro.
Like, dude.
Do you understand that your life is fucked?
Yeah, it's your swimming is got nothing to do with anything at this point.
Fuck yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, like young guys, they drink, they party, they have fun, and like I know a lot. Like some of the best friends that I've ever had were like ATO. Like when I went there, I'm still friends with a lot of those guys.
Drank a lot, and had fun,
and it was
But it's like it just to me. I never thought that I was in an environment. I was in ground zero of whatever we call rape culture. Fucking fuck off.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. We could talk about Brock, but like I think that to make it sound like this, it's part of like this institutionalized thing that permeates colleges and universities. I don't think is accurate.
Well, and
I think there's a couple fucking scumbags.
I think that there is this issue, but if I think that you should be able to. What I think is that. I think the problem is to some extent that men have control because you're allowed to drink at frat houses, but sororities aren't allowed to drink.
Yeah.
I think sororities should be able to throw parties, and we were the only sorority that had. And
that's kind of a national thing, I think.
It is. Well, we were the only sorority that even was allowed to drink at our formals, like our events. Yeah. Other ones we weren't. So it's like the parties, like the fun parties, the frat parties, and so you're the ones that have the control. I think that. Everyone's like, no drinking, no drink. I'm like, no, just let the sororities have the same rights then.
Right.
Bring it. Come over to us then,
and
then we can. And it's like, I mean, it's just so crazy because honestly, I was a sorority, but some of my best friends that I still have are from the frat. You guys would call me Brother Timpf.
Right.
I had no doubt you guys cared about me. Even one of the times you and I broke up, they were helpful. They're my friends. They're good guys.
They abandoned you.
Yeah,
no,
they were good guys. And it was some of you guys were nasty, but guess what? Men are nasty.
Right.
Men have to be nasty in order for population to continue.
Right. We can't walk this perfect line of just being perfectly angelic, but then also, for life to continue, we have to really want to get up inside that. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, we've been talking for a while. See, this wasn't so bad, right?
No, this
it's
is
good. It's great.
I could keep rambling forever.
I mean, I think there's a lot of people in this audience that are frat guys, and I am very openly pro bro.
Right.
I'm pro bro. I love the American bro. I'm pro bro.
I think it's a good overall culture, I don't like the demonization because of certain motherfuckers.
I need a masculine man. All right. If there's a guy that's is it okay if I kiss you? Is it okay if I touch you here? Get out of my apartment.
Yes, now.
Get out of here. Because that's almost offensive to me because it's telling me that me as a woman, if I didn't want you here, I don't have the balls to say, yo, get out.
It takes away your agency. It takes away your ability to be in control and make decisions. And I just think that we're not going to be. I don't know what the solution is because I don't think you can educate this. I think people have an intuitive sense of right and wrong in terms of.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know. All right, we've been going for almost an hour now. No, listen, look, it's totally fine. I'm so glad that you came on to talk. I would. Is there anything else that you want to say? Normally I have comedians on who promote things, but you're all don't listen.
Right. You don't know who I am.
Find me on Tinder.
Right.
I may have
have a Twitter.
I may have lost one the other night. So I'm always. I want you to find as many nice ladies as you can, Blake.
Thank you.
I do.
No, I don't have anything else to say except that thank you for having me on. You're an awesome person and an awesome friend, and I'm so glad that even after some mistreatment, you're a forgiving person.
Well, I am. I'm forgiving.
Who's lucky enough to count you as a friend is lucky indeed.
He's drunk.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody. This has been the Kat Timpf Show with with Jeans' dad, Blake. Happy Father's Day, belated Father's Day. This comes out on Monday. Make sure you follow, subscribe, just party on forever. Rate me 5 stars. It makes me very happy. All right. I love all of you guys. And I hope you love me. And even if you hate me, I'm glad you're still listening. All right. Thank you. Bye.